Sean, are we going to save it for later?
No, we're gonna get
because if you say that one more fucking time, I swear to God,
this is later now, baby.
And by the way, I've been listening to the Grease soundtrack upstairs. The people upstairs have been playing the Grease for I don't know, 2 days.
Cool. Is that
no? It's just
synchronicity, I suppose. I don't know.
My ability to deal with you, Sean, is actually quite low right now because of the Grease soundtrack.
Welcome to my
played over and over and over.
With you, my friend.
Give me a count. Like I need to hear the beat. What? Comedy depends on the beat, and so I need to know when you're coming in, so I can, in reference to how. Just fucking give me a countdown for God's sake.
3, 2, 1.
The following may contain harsh language, poorly communicated ideas, and does not reflect the opinions of iHeartRadio.
I never knew what prison was like, but now I'm back. 3 weeks have been a little blurry, but we are cracking on here on Take 2 Plus, and this week is a very special episode, and perhaps the hottest episode, in my opinion. This is the incestual romance between Sasha, Gina Gershon's character, and Dietrich. My name is Chris.
And I'm Sean.
And I'm Tyler.
And folks, the best way to look at this episode is like a Jerry Springer episode with, a little too hot for TV. That's why we had to make it into a podcast. So, the premise, what's going on with Gina and Nick? And Face Off, 1997, what week is this?
This is week 15.
I can't believe it took us this long to get to this topic. Although we've been circling it for like 15 weeks. Yeah.
This is
a lot of discipline.
So, we need to come up with like a cute name, like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner were Bennifer, and there was like I don't know, like a couple name. What's like Gina and Nick?
It's really hard. Yeah,
Sastrick.
It's really hard to combine Sasha and Dietrich. I gotta say, yeah, Sastrick is about as much.
All right, let's talk about Sastrick in there.
Or Dietrich.
The only other thing we could do is we could combine Gina with Nick and just Nina.
Dick.
Nina.
Dick.
Yeah. Hard dick.
Dick.
Cassavetes.
All right, none of this is making the cut. So before we get into arguing the pros and cons of this very, very confusing but apparently loving relationship, why don't we
too loving, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we go through the film and just go over the evidence that the movie provides that these two, there's more to their relationship than simply being brother and sister, right? So,
can I say that basically how we know about Gina and Sasha, how do we know about Dick is this connection that occurs very early in the movie when we're introduced, and this is a visual cue because it's literally back to back. So we are looking at Gina Gershon being interrogated by John Travolta, and it's kind of a little bit of exposition heavy, but whatever.
Sean Archer threatens to put her son into a foster home if she doesn't cooperate by giving out the information he needs. Now, of course, we don't know. We don't know who the father of that child is, but considering the way they parse out this information, it's kind of insinuated that Cassavetes is probably the father of that kid.
So if it was a person just watching the movie without the sound on, it would be very heavily insinuated that it's Nick Cassavetes' character who's the father.
Do you find out in that first interrogation scene that they're brother and sister?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. John Travolta. Oh, and by the way, how's your sister Sasha? Or no, Dietrich. Oh, by the way, Sasha, how's your brother Dietrich? Your brother. Yeah. That was actually an impersonation and not actually a clip from the film, by the way.
Yeah, of course it was.
I just want to let everyone know about that.
Anyway, the important bit of information to know about this beat between Sean Archer and Nick Cassavetes is that the camera is on Travolta when he mentions her sister. So you see him say the word sister.
What if it was a North by Northwest? I never discuss love on an empty stomach. Sex.
I did try to see if there was ADR going on, if he actually said the word sister, and he did. I can tell. I can read his lips at the time he's saying it. He clearly says sister.
How long is that scene? And do we see Nicolas Cage in that shot as well, or do we see someone at the back of someone's head? Because I imagine that would be a very quick little 2-second little fix.
It could have been, but I kind of doubt it just because of the way it goes all together. You can see the lighting's all the same, the sight lines are all the same, the camera replacement's the same.
This doesn't match the rest of the movie.
No, it does. That's my point. It does match the movie, so I don't think it was a reshoot. But it could have been. You don't know for sure. So the first hint that these two might be a little more than just brother and sister is when they're walking out together from this interrogation scene. As someone who has a younger sister, and I'm Chris, I'm sure you can attest to this fact as well, I would never hold my sister in that way at any point during the course of our relationship, because it is way too intimate.
No, I would disagree. I think I would. I think it's like a very like traumatic thing, and you know, a loving thing.
Sean's sister that way?
Well,
how do we know for sure that there's something really weird going on in this relationship? And really the only evidence that we for sure 100% have is the weirdest fuck kiss that Nick Cassavetes plants on Gina Gershon.
The reason we're talking about this to begin with is that last kiss.
Exactly.
Nothing without that.
Because of the controversial nature, Sean, I should mention that I did bring a very special guest. His name is Dr. Sex. And Dr. Sex is going to talk to us all about the sex level of that kiss. Dr. Sex. Well, you can see by the lip on lip, we're talking 7.5. If you're in the southern states, probably closer to a 1 or a 2, but we're not in the southern states right there. No. We are in Chicago. 7.5 in Chicago. Thank you, Dr. Sex. Sean, continue, please.
But they definitely like really drive heavy the Sasha Dietrich's like weird European, like, oh, this is just what they do over there, apparently, vibe.
Well, and they do that in a few different ways. The shaved head, the giant earring, he's like a pirate or something. Like the very designer clothes, so he's wealthy. And also he has like a directionless moral compass. Because he's like he shows,
like most criminals.
What I'm saying though is based on the profile that is kind of presented to us. Sean, would you not agree?
Yeah, I guess.
That's why they had to keep doing it. I guess.
Let's go back to the kiss for a second, because on the second, like the 100th time I watched this movie or whatever it is, but I did just go back and rewatch it today, and I noticed something interesting, and that as soon as they do like begin to kiss, Nick and Gina, John Woo cuts away immediately. Like they literally just touch lips, and he cuts away, and he cuts away for like 2 or 3 seconds. But then he comes back and they're still like lip locking, right? Like it's been like 3 or 4 seconds at this point. So the insinuation is that they have continued to kiss for this long, but at the same time, it's like John Woo's like, yeah, I can't put this on straight for like 5 seconds. Like that's
he was grossed out by it too.
So, Sean, Tyler, I'm going to ask Tyler on this one. I think Tyler is actually the smarter of the two.
I concur.
Do you think choices for their acting? Do you think whose decision do you think that was?
To have a makeout scene between a brother and
sister?
No,
to have such a complicated relationship between those brother and sister characters. Was this a John Woo deal?
I almost guarantee it wasn't a John Woo deal. He's too sentimental for that.
All right. Well, then what's going on here? Let's get to the heart of the matter.
I think from the creative point of view, Gina Gershon and Nick Cassavetes probably wanted a weird, interesting hook to their characters.
Yes.
In real life, I think Nick Cassavetes just wanted to make out with Gina Gershon.
And this is it. This is it. Is this the guy? Is this 100%? Is this? Okay. Spoilers. This is my move. Okay. And this is no, baby. It's for the art.
Gina Gershon should have Me Too Nick Cassavetes out of the industry. Is not what you're telling me.
It's not too late.
Let's just find out if they do that in Face Off 2. I don't think they will.
It's possible. All right. Okay. So now that we've figured that out, I think the other important question that we have to ask ourselves is, after John Travolta as Sean Archer adopted Gina Gershon and Nicolas Cage's son Adam and brought him home to their family, did Adam, having grown up in this weird incestuous household, then fall in love with his new adopted sister? I think 100%. We've got to ask ourselves that question.
I don't even think we have to ask ourselves because it's so clear.
Let's also not forget that his first interaction with his new sister is to have her like gently massage.
Oh, he probably got
that's his very first move.
Such a bummer for that.
Mm-hmm. Basically, Face Off is taking the face off incest, because that's what everyone thought. That's the undercurrent in the entire movie. It's the reason I watch the movie so often, every day. So that's kind of bringing you into the circle, guys, with like the 52 weeks of Face Off review. Sean, can I ask you a question? If you were left high and dry yourself, don't you think you'd need a little bit of light in your life?
Yeah, I guess, and that's what I'm saying. Like she somehow.
All right, so because we can both agree that the world needs more light, I present to you tonight's sponsor, the clicking light. This is a light that makes a click that you can engineer yourself to make a click that is perfect for you. And this is the click light, and I can't wait for my clicking to begin. So, sorry, Sean, go on, please.
Okay, that was so worth it. Yeah, it was hilarious too. Like I'm in stitches. So look, how do we know?
My click, sorry, goes like this.